I just took out all of your friends right in front of your eyes. How did you not notice me? Oh my god. I don't know where to start with this game. I really don't. Alpha Protocol gives off an absolutely terrible impression, and to many people, first impressions mean everything. Thankfully, I'm an open-minded guy, and I try to finish every game that I start playing, even ones I don't like, because hell, even if it's bad or mediocre, it can still have some redeeming values, some unique ideas, or interesting gameplay mechanics. My first 4 hours of Alpha Protocol can be described as aggravating, frustrating, infuriating, boring, and confusing. The game starts off with a plane being destroyed by missiles, followed by some cryptic conversation between you and another person. Next thing you know, you wake up in a foreign place, drugged up and dressed up as a patient. An Asian woman guides you through your PDA as you try to make your escape. Turns out this was just a training test done by this secret American organization. And before you know it, you're sent out to Saudi Arabia on your first mission. The first thing I noticed was just how bad the graphics are. They're absolutely terrible and dated. It's an Unreal 3 engine game and was released in June 2010. Graphically, it's a slight step above the original Mass Effect. However, that game came out in 2008 and looked like ass, even for its time. For comparison's sake, here's a short clip of The Ball, an indie game developed by 3 people. And this game runs on the Unreal 3 engine as well. Remember folks, just 3 people. Of course I understand that Obsidian is not as big of a studio, such as Activision or Ubisoft, but they had around 130 employees at the time of this game. This project was also funded by Sega, so there's absolutely no excuse for this. Just look at the animation quality here. It doesn't even look like your character is turning. It looks like he's morphing. Reminds me of the T-1000 from Terminator 2. Why turn around when I can just simply morph my body into the opposite direction? Just look at his sneaking animation. It looks like he's about to be mounted doggy style any second now. And since this is primarily a stealth game, expect to be seeing your character's ass for most of the game. There is also no anti-aliasing option, and it cannot be forced through your graphics card's control panel. Sound-wise, I noticed there is no 5.1 sound, stereo only. Are you serious? A game coming out in 2010 that is only in stereo? The controls are fucking god-awful. Simply god-awful. The mouse sensitivity is absolutely awkward. I tweaked some INI files around which solved most of the issues, but still every now and then turning the mouse slightly results in the camera turning 180 degrees. It gets worse in the minigames. Holy shit. Hacking, lockpicking, etc. Everything is mouse controlled and it isn't very precise or responsive. The worst offender is without a doubt the hacking. You basically need to match up 2 codes. The left code is controlled by your WASD keys. The right code is controlled by the mouse. The problem is you can only move the code up, down, left, or right. That is not how a normal mouse moves. God, I want to punch Chris Avellone in his stupid face. You fucking worked on Fallout 2 and Planescape Torment. How the fuck do you suddenly forget how to make proper keyboard and mouse controls? And during sniping, I don't even know what the hell happens, but the mouse simply refuses to move at times, while other times it just decides to spin randomly. Fuck! The dialogue system is an active one and expects an immediate response from you. Somehow Obsidian seems to believe you already know what the other person is going to finish saying, and wants you to formulate your response before they've even finished speaking. What the hell? Why am I getting a tutorial pop-up in the middle of this conversation, as if it wasn't difficult enough to follow all this bullshit on the screen to begin with? Alright, professional... no, I want to switch to recruit. Fuck, I just skipped the conversation. And the bugs. Holy shit, the bugs. The game doesn't use manual or quick saving, which is fucking retarded. Instead, it makes its own checkpoint saves, which are fucking broken. Reloading a checkpoint save after dying either gives you a black screen, forcing you to end the game from Task Manager, or loads it, except all of the enemies are missing, and you usually can't proceed after this point, which forces you to manually load the checkpoint save. That somehow fixes the problem. Why doesn't it work the first time around? Why do I need to manually reload it after it already reloaded for me? Now at this point you must be thinking, holy fuck, this game is shit. But you would be wrong. I absolutely loved Alpha Protocol. About 4 hours in, the game stopped sucking and I was completely glued to it, playing it non-stop for 3 days from start to finish. The inconsistent AI, the dated graphics, the bad controls, etc. All these issues became very minor complaints because the story was so enthralling that I was just able to overlook past all of those flaws. You play as Agent Michael Thornton, who is hired to work for Alpha Protocol, a super-secret government organization that few people know about. You are sent to Saudi Arabia to find out how a terrorist group got a hold of American-manufactured missiles. Unfortunately, shit hits the fan and you're forced to go rogue. Hunted by your own government, you're aided by one of the Alpha Protocol members, as you visit Rome, Taipei, and Moscow, trying to uncover what is secretly going on in the realm of international power and politics. I really can't give away much more than that. There are tons of plot twists and backstabs going on. But what I love most about the plot is how character-driven and morally great it is. The voice acting and dialogue are both absolutely top-notch. Obsidian truly have some of the industry's best writers in their staff. Not only do your actions in each hub city have an effect on the plot, but even the order that you visit the hub cities has an effect as well. Alpha Protocol is one of the few story-driven games out there where almost every decision you make is a morally gray one. The only other modern game series I can think of that has this is The Witcher. This is so satisfying to play because you're actually treated as an adult. This isn't a shitty BioWare fairy tale, this is the real world. To compare, in Mass Effect 3, one of the early missions has you trying to convince the Turians to help you defend Earth. They will only help you if you can get the Krogan to help them. The Krogan will only help them if the genophage is cured, but if it is, the Solarians will refuse to aid you. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, shit, should I do what I believe is morally right, or should I do what will grant me a larger military force to defend my planet? Oh wait. Turns out I can cure the genophage and get all three races to merrily aid me in my quest. There goes that difficult fucking decision. Every choice you make in Alpha Protocol has positive and negative consequences. Every decision you make, you will come to regret. I ended up loving the dialogue system because of this. Do you save the life of someone close to you, or do you save the lives of hundreds of civilians? Well, guess what? You better pick one because the timer on your decision is ticking, and it's ticking fast. In your search for truth, you end up coming across lots of shady people. Some of them are terrorists, and some are ruthless criminals. Do you kill them because you believe in justice? Or do you form an alliance with them because the enemy of my enemy is my friend? These are the types of situations you will constantly end up being in, and you're going to have to decide quickly on what to do. And guess what? This isn't like Mass Effect 3 or Deus Ex Human Revolution, where at the end of the game you sit in a room and flick one of 3 switches to show a pre-recorded piss-poor excuse of an ending. No. All of your actions here have consequences, and even your earliest interactions in Saudi Arabia have a significant effect on the ending. This gives Alpha Protocol a ton of replay value. Like the recent Deus Ex, Alpha Protocol is primarily a stealth game with RPG elements. The RPG elements aren't all that fleshed out though. As you level up, you gain points that you can put into various categories, but these simply result in minor stat boosts or an improved active ability. At the start of the game, there are a few pre-made classes that you can choose from, or you can redistribute the points yourself, or you can select a special recruit class where you start out with 0 points, significantly upping the challenge. This is what I chose, and this is probably why I hated the combat so much early on in the game. Alpha Protocol is very stats reliant. This means that headshots do not result in instant kills. This is annoying, and early on your accuracy and damage are both very, very poor. You can master either pistols, SMGs, shotguns, or assault rifles. But pistols are a must for stealthy characters, as you can use a silencer with them, and later on you can do some really awesome deadly stuff like this. There are boss fights that are poorly done and feel out of place, just like they do in Deus Ex Human Revolution. However, this shit works on bosses too, so once you level up your weapon of choice to a moderate amount, you shouldn't really have that much trouble. I also found the dialogue responses to be absolutely brilliant. It's so refreshing and free of BioWare's pollution. In Mass Effect, being Paragon is like being Gandhi, and being Renegade is like being Hitler. Switching back and forth between them in a long conversation makes your character feel like he has multiple personality disorder. In Alpha Protocol, you can either be suave and sarcastic, violent and aggressive, or simply professional. All these moods flow well from one to another. They do not feel like you are three distinct characters, all fighting for screen time. Oh, and the humor.
I can help.
The humor.
But such information will not come cheaply.
Look at that. You spilled your vodka.
I told you, I do not know.
Oh, great. Picture of Darcy. He wrote, Mike and Sean, fuck yeah! With 3 exclamation points. You, I'm keeping all to myself.
Great. I just hope I'm not so focused on your dreamy voice that I forget to tell you when the men with guns show up.
Cute.
Your dreamy voice distracts me too, Mike.
Okay, I'm going offline to take showers. Lots of showers.
Mr. Thornton, Michael. As I said, I was able to track down the information you requested. After reading your dossier, however, I had a proposal for you.
A proposal? I'm touched, but I'm a committed bachelor.
Alpha Protocol is the game that stopped making me look at Metacritic scores to judge games. They're full of shit. Alpha Protocol's Metascores in the low 60s for consoles and low 70s for the PC. Let's look at other games with a shit ton of issues. Skyrim was unplayable for many PS3 users due to an issue that wasn't fixed until last month. It was literally unplayable. Metascore? 92. The PS3 version of Mass Effect 3 has severe framerate issues, and even in its most stable moments, barely runs at 25 frames per second. Metascore 92. Really now? Really? Not only that, but scores for reviews themselves are bullshit. My 8 out of 10 is different than your 8 out of 10. And in this current industry, anything that's below an 8.5 is considered bad. Then of course you have places like PC Gamer that somehow gave Duke Nukem Forever an 80 out of 100, while giving Serious Sam 3 a 70. I wonder in what dimension Duke Nukem Forever is actually considered a good game. Last but not least, Obsidian themselves were hurt thanks to Metacritic. Their contract with Bethesda for Fallout New Vegas was a straight payment and would only get a bonus if they got an 85 plus on Metacritic. What did they get? 84. Are you fucking kidding me? This resulted in layoffs and the cancellation of Obsidian's new title. Now I don't want to see another studio get hurt from this bullshit again. Some people may blame Obsidian's bad business decisions, but those people seem to forget Bethesda sued the creator of Minecraft because he's making a game called Scrolls, and they won. And while he's allowed to finish the game, they own the rights to its name, and they own the rights to the production of all of its sequels. Bethesda, get fucked. I realize I've sidetracked here, but it's just an unbelievable amount of bullshit, really. Alpha Protocol is an absolutely amazing game with a brilliant story, wonderful characters, and amazing dialogue. If you're looking for a 15 to 17 hour experience, and you're patient enough or willing to overlook some of the issues it has, you will find an experience that very few modern games have to offer. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Now for the hard part. Tell me why you're here. Not everyone gets chosen for this line of work, but you volunteered. Usually we have to ask.
I want to serve.